there, Gemini. Welcome to your September 2024 love reading. This is Sagittarius Yogini. And no, I don't have the cards being laid out because I'm starting over and I had just started the reading and I'm starting over again. So it's no biggie, but it's so funny because it reminds me of when one time I was doing a reading for YouTube, and it was for the sign of Taurus, so take that as you will. And the person said, "Oh, you didn't show the cards being laid out. That's sketchy." And so I guess I'll have to risk it being sketchy so that I don't have to, you know, edit something that's like it takes forever because they don't have like, very straightforward editing. It's just for at least from what I remember. So yeah, I'm just doing this. Um, yeah, so this is for single people as well as couples who are having a difficulty in their relationship. So it's for anybody who wants a love reading, but it's meant to be for, like, if you're coupled, if you're having trouble, because why would you be listening to a love reading if everything is hunky-dory? Sounds like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, in my opinion. The heart of the matter is the Knight of Swords. This can indicate that change is on the way. If your love life has felt like you've just been twiddling your thumbs for a long time, you might find that things are really rock and rolling. As a matter of fact, I always look at things astrologically because I'm primarily an astrologer. And I was thinking, okay, what's happening with Gemini that could possibly indicate this? And there's going to be a solar eclipse in your house of love on October 2nd. And even in September, the eclipse energy might be felt. So there you go. That's a big one. And this can also be if you are involved with, and this could be definitely on again, off again, a relationship with somebody who I could say especially might be a male air sign. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or they have it very kind of prominent in their energy where they are like that. The reason I say this is because swords relate to air signs. Well, you're an air sign too, so that would probably be a sign you'd be compatible with. So, and it might even be like an Aquarius because the star card is connected to Aquarius. But this individual, and by the way, usually knights are depicted as younger men. So I would say typically 20s, although I would extend that all the way to 40 these days in terms of how men present themselves. But even that isn't really, to me, the case. I mean, you could have somebody who's 60 years old and they just live a lifestyle that you would associate more with a millennial or 20 something, because they're not married, they do their own thing, they don't have kids, they don't have those kinds of responsibilities, so they're kind of leading that life that you associate with a younger man who hasn't had a family yet. And that's not necessarily a slam on that person either. I know some people would call it a slam, but I wouldn't. It's just a way that they chose to do life that is different than somebody else. But on the other hand, this might be someone who does have commitment issues, is kind of like here, there, and everywhere, you can't pin them down type of person. So it can go either way. In the past position, and by the way, if you are in a marriage that is problematic, the Knight of Swords could indicate that there's going to be some change in the near future. Now, the reason I don't like to predict things, phrase things like that, is that it implies that it's just happening randomly and that the people involved are not directly involved with it. And I don't want to give that false impression. I do think that maybe you'll get fed up with the situation as it is and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm just going to um, get a divorce or whatever, if you've been kind of like holding off on it, or the other party says that. In the past position, we have the Star card, and this is a card really of hope, I would say, first and foremost. It's a card associated with Aquarius, and it's interesting because Aquarius rules the 11th house in astrology, which is a house of hopes and wishes. So, by the way, there's some landscaping going on outside. Hopefully you can't hear it. I have the windows closed, but I can hear it, so it's kind of distracting me a little bit. But anyway, this to me can suggest that a person has been going through a rough patch and they can see the light now. It's not as dark as it was. So maybe, there are some of you who have gone through losing your partner through death or through divorce, and that you took it very hard, and now you are finally ready to open up your heart again to somebody else. If you are coupled, this may be just your own, apart from whatever relationship issues you've been having, you may have had a situation where you just said to yourself, okay, it stops here and it stops now. And you just found, that's not, I don't really mean it like that. What I mean is that something may have happened that sparked your faith in life. Okay. And it is possible. Maybe it's this dude. Maybe it's somebody that you've met and you're married, and not that you're having an affair necessarily. Maybe it's a coworker, and that person interacted with you in a way that you haven't experienced in a very long time, and it made you realize that what you're experiencing in your home, or with that significant other, isn't how it has to be. And sometimes we're just like, it's almost like getting browbeaten by life, that you forget that there is like an alternative. And so what's coming in is the Ten of Cups. This is a card of happily ever after. It is associated with marriage and family joy. So there may be, like I said, there may be other changes in your life. And even if you're coupled and you've had a rough patch, it could very well be that things are starting to look up for you. Now, of course, there would have to be other reasons why this happened. It's not just going to just randomly occur. Maybe like you and your partner went into marriage counseling. Maybe there was some stressor on the relationship that is no longer there. And so now it's like you're not feeling like you're under the gun anymore. If you decide that you're going to leave, that is a sense of restoring harmony in your family, because of course, that kind of situation can be quite upsetting for everyone involved. So I feel like something has been a positive change in your life. What crosses you is the Nine of Wands. This is a card of, you see that person's expression on their face, this wary kind of like suspicious, like, what are you up to? This is boundaries. This is about, um, but in some cases, it can be about having, a wall up. And if, if a Gemini person has been hurt, or any person has been hurt, it's natural to kind of put up boundaries like, I don't want to be hurt again like that. So I'm not going to just give my heart out that easily. But this can be meeting that person who can make that happen, can make you trust again. And if you're married or, in a committed partnership, you may not be having good boundaries. And this is part of the reason why you're in the situation you're in, because regardless of what the other person is saying or doing, you still have this obligation to stand up for yourself and let them know what you're willing to take and what you're not willing to take. If you won't do that, that's going to be problematic, obviously. Okay. And this is the outcome card, the Hierophant, which is actually connected to marriage, and it's under the 10 of Cups. So it is possible that you are meeting someone who is marriage material. Marriage to me is not legal marriage necessarily. It can be that you're cohabitating with someone. Maybe you're not even living in the same place, but you have a monogamous relationship with that person and you're committed to them. And Jupiter is in your sign, so that can indicate a lot of opportunities in life as a whole. So it is possible that in September that something comes in very quickly for you in the name of love. And maybe it's been quite a wait for some of you. So I certainly hope that, oh yeah, and like I said, October 2nd is that solar eclipse in Libra. So, these tarot readings in terms of timing are not really, they're a little bit iffy, but astrologically I can back that up. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, the information is below. Take care. Bye.